Good morning. Day 61 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here in the attic. The topic today is low tide. Yesterday, I happened to time it right to go down to the point and be there for low tide, and I was the only one. And that was relatively early. It was, I think, 8 o'clock, 8:30-ish. And low tide from when I was a kid was a favorite time of ours. We would always go out to the sandbar, make these castles, squish the mud into these giant, tiny turrets, and it was just magical. Our grandfather used to come out and play around with us and push us on the raft, and it was the favorite time of day. It still is. When our kids were little here, we would take them, and it was just running out as far as you can, jump in the waves. And yesterday I was there alone, and I just had the opportunity to take it all in. It was a beautiful morning. The sun was sparkling. There were actually two men way out clamming. I had never seen that before, and I could actually hear their conversations because, as you know, on water, voices carry. And the birds, and I was just noticing, like there was a zillion little snails in the water and hermit crabs, and everybody was kind of separated. And then the seagulls were over here on this pier, and then there are those white birds with the giant straw-like legs that look like, you know, teeny pelicans snacking on fish and having breakfast. And there was just a natural rhythm of the morning. The water was coming in, leaving little ripples. You could see the imprints in the sand, and I was just observing and taking it in and almost merging with the peace and the ease. And I ended up meditating again out there. I'd already meditated in the morning, but I was just, there's this giant, God knows how it got there, but a giant log tree that was up on shore, and I just sat on top of it. And I think I stayed there for like 40 minutes. It was just peaceful. So I invite you to observe more, even places that you've been a million times. Bring new eyes, a new space, a new heart, and just feel, sink into you, and take it in. Enjoy this day. Morning, day 62 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here in the attic. Today's topic is the low tide, part 2. There's just too much to talk about at low tide to leave it for one tidbit. So I went back to low tide yesterday, and of course it's an hour later each day, and so it was 9:30 yesterday, and I walked down there. Another beautiful day. I was the only one, again, which is insane, at this sandbar. And it goes out forever, it seems. And the clam guy was out there clamming again. And I was like, that's so interesting. All these years, my whole life, I've been coming to the Connecticut shoreline, never seen people here. Gee, I wish I could ask him some questions. Well, I just move around, noticing things again, and as I'm walking through the water, which is very warm because it's so shallow, I'm looking at all this seaweed, right? We've all seen seaweed our whole life. There's red seaweed, green seaweed, black seaweed, white seaweed, all different colors of the green spectrum, actually. And I'm noticing, because the tide is so low, that some of the seaweed is stuck to the rocks, right? And it anchors down. And some is simply floating. And I'm thinking, wow, what makes the difference in these seaweeds, whether they anchor down or float? And then, of course, I started thinking about life, right? We need to float a lot of times. And most of us, myself included, feel comfortable with anchors in certain places that make me feel safe, grounded, secure. And I was just watching some of this seaweed float in this beautiful, almost jellyfish-like. You know how it moves through the water. And then others that had anchored down when it became low tide, completely flat to the ground. So I was just noticing. And as I walk all the way out, guess what starts to happen? The clam guy starts walking towards me. I'm like, wonder if we got any clams today. So he comes all the way in, and I say good morning, and he says good morning, and we start talking. And I say, hey, is it a good day? And he's like, oh, it's beautiful. And I'm like, oh, no, I meant, hey, it's a good day harvesting. And he shows me his bucket. And I'm like, wow. And he got 50 yesterday and 12 today. And we have a conversation. And in fact, we grew up in connected towns. And it was really wild. And clamming's only been going on for 3 years here. And that's why I haven't seen it. And it was just one of these learning something new, observing, going with the flow, allowing the water to lead. It comes in and it goes out, and not trying to pull the water in. And I also watched the waves. They were beautiful. I posted some yesterday on Facebook if you want some peaceful, calm water. So just observe, take things in, ask questions, connect, enjoy you and everything that's going on around. I hope you have a great day. Namaste. Good morning. Day 63 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here in the attic. The topic for today is Just Mercy, the movie by Bryan Stevenson, his memoir. Before I get into that, I would like to just say a giant, huge thank you to all of you who tune in and watch this and who share this. I really appreciate it from all of my heart for sharing this with everybody. It really means a lot. And all the comments, I always respond to everybody. So keep sharing your thoughts so I can, even if there are things you want to hear about, I can share more about that as well. Now I'm going to share about Just Mercy. We watched this last night. Our daughters recommended it, and I'm going to recommend it to you. It's about a true story of Walter McMillan and his wrongful accusation and conviction of a murder in Alabama, and everything that happens to him and all of the other inmates who are on death row. This is not a million years ago that this story takes place. This is in the 80s, 1980s, I might say. And it is astonishing once again how things were handled, how things were covered up, how things were stopped, how the law wasn't allowed to proceed with justice until someone decides they want to do something about it, but then they continually bump up against ugliness. I don't even know the right word. This is important to watch. There are some very difficult parts to see, but this is real. This is true. And we need this to end and to do something about it. In fact, afterwards I went online and I went on Bryan Stevenson's website, and we're going to donate today. And I feel that things need to shift, and by joining together, there are options. This is a huge time for change, and being part of it is the only answer. Being silent isn't okay. It doesn't work. It never did, and it's not going to. So moving forward, as I hear new things to watch and hear new things to join and new things to do, I'll be sharing them with you. Also, please share them with me. I'm open and here to listen and support. So as we move through this Sunday, connect in, listen, observe, and be part of the change. Namaste. Good morning. Sonny Mazer here, day 64, Turtle Lane Tidbits in the greenhouse. The topic today is old rabbit holes. So a couple days ago, one of my really good friends sent me a text and said, hey, can you update my email address on your newsletter? Because you keep sending it to my old email. So I was like, yeah. So I go into MailChimp and I pull up her name and I switch it, and then it hits edit and it kind of shifts back to the 25 or 50 people who are on that page. And I see all these names. There were hundreds of people on my email list. And I see unsubscribed. And I'm like, oh, what? And I'm looking at these names, right? And there are hundreds who are subscribed. But my eye continually goes down the list of who unsubscribed. And literally, I'm like, oh, she unsubscribed? Oh my God, she's such a good friend. Oh, she unsubscribed? Oh my God, we held her in the healing circle for so long. Oh, she unsubscribed? I've known her forever. And and I start clicking through all these pages, right? And then I'm like, whoa, what's going on? What are you doing? I'm literally focusing on and feeling like I get a stomach punch from each person who's unsubscribed. I am focusing on the negative energy. There are hundreds of people who have subscribed, right? But my mind and my eyes and my everything is going to who unsubscribed. And I immediately start this dialogue. Well, oh my God, I thought they liked me. Oh my God. I thought they were like, we were on the same path and had similar whatevers. And then I realize, like, I kind of get this like, boom. Whoa, it's none of your business what anybody else reads. People get zillions of emails. And there was a point in time when my email went that it did 3 at a time or 6 at a time. Something was wrong. People are inundated. Let it go. They're not on the same path with you. It's okay. It's okay. Just be you. Come back to center. Keep emanating out whatever it is. Sharing. For those who want to share, great. For those who have feedback, awesome. For those who want to leave, that's totally fine. Come back to yourself. You are worthy. You are enough. You got this, girl. So I share this with you because we're all human, right? And we go to that, what? Why did they? And it's just not really worth it. Think about where you're putting the energy and old wounds and what's coming up and rabbit holes, and just breathe. Decide where your energy is best expended. So I hope that's helpful. Have a good day. Namaste. Good morning, day 65 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here in the greenhouse. The topic today is prayer circles or healing circles. I wanted to share this. Some of you have probably been in the healing circles, holding space for people who need it, whether it's for something physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. People are in need of being held, of being heard, of being loved. And in fact, I have a client today who has surgery at 7:30 this morning, and there are a bunch of us who are going to be sending her healing for the best and highest good. And when we do this in unison, when we do it at the same time, it has been proven to make a huge difference. People feel it. In fact, at one point, at one of our healing circles way back, one of the men who we were holding was unconscious for days in a coma. And when he came out of it, which was the next day after we were told and we're holding him, he said to his wife, something weird happened last night. I know I kind of got jolted and awakened that I was going to be okay. So I shared this with you for a number of reasons. You can start a healing circle yourself. If you have someone you know who's going through something and they need some extra help, ask them if they'd like to be held. There's no special powers, no special things that you have to have. You think of them, you send them positive energy and love. There's lots of different ways to do this. I think most of us worry about people when we know something's going on with them. But we talked about everything being love-based or fear-based. And when we worry about people, we circle them with a blanket of fear, which is never our intent. But when we come to the conscious space of what we want to do and help and how to be there for others, we circle them with love. And so doing it in circle is a beautiful energy. It's one of holding. It's one of peace. There's lots of sacred geometry that's involved. And so I invite you to do that for yourself or for friends and ask people to join in, or ask me if you know someone in your family who is in need of being held for a amount of time. I am more than happy to send energy to them. And I also have other people, so we all join in. And it's a beautiful energy. It's love. So think about how you can join into the love circle for anyone and yourself. I hope that's helpful. Have a great day. Namaste. Good morning. Day 66. Of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here in the greenhouse. The topic is dreams. Yeah, I'm a little excited. I have like so many things to share, only 3 minutes and running through my head. So take a breath. Dreams. So I do not watch much TV. But when we do watch TV, it's always music-based. So it's The Voice, it's American Idol, it's Songland. 2 nights ago, we were watching America's Got Talent. And there's a judge taking Heidi's place because she's sick. And the judge, I wrote his name down, is Eric Stonestreet from Modern Family, Sophia's old family, as she's part of the new family. And there's an act, and this judge who's just there for like a night or two is the deciding vote whether this kid gets to move forward or not. And the act was pretty good. Not awesome, but pretty good, and you could see the potential. And everybody's waiting, and he's thinking, and he closes his eyes, and he takes a moment, and he says, you know what? I'm not gonna squish your dream. I believe in you. Go for it. Yes. And he gets the 4th yes, and this kid is like jumping up and down, and he has the ability now to move forward on his dream. So I share this with you because so many of us have been in quarantine and lockdown and masks on and taking space, and this time is also an incredibly creative time. It's a different time. It's a new time. It's a new dawn. So I am asking you, what are your dreams? What have been in the back burner? What have been in the future? What have you been hoping, thinking someday for? Bring them forward. Now is the time to start moving with these dreams, start flowing with these dreams, bring the passion. The passion. I'm taking this class, you guys know, in Australia on Mondays. And our homework this week is to connect in to our passion. I love passion. I have so many passions. I have so many loves. I have so many creative things flowing at once. And we talked a lot about passion in class, and passion is a heart-based thing. When we're passionate about something and things are flowing and it's heightened and it's intense, there's no thinking involved. It's all flow and action. And at some point, for some of us, the head kicks in and it goes, can you do this? Are you worthy of doing this? Do you even know enough to do this? Do you have enough money to do this? This is crazy. And often when we're in the flow of passion and we tell somebody else, they're like, you're crazy. That's insane. And in fact, one time Someone even said to me, "That's reckless." And I thought, oh my God, I am the least reckless person, but I am one of the most passionate people. So now I get it. Don't let those others stop you. Flow, go with the passion. So I invite you to look at your dreams. What are they? Tap into them, bring them forward. Now's the time. Namaste. Have a great day. Good morning. This is actually take 2 of day 67, Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here in the greenhouse. In the middle of talking in the first minute, it just went, I think there was too much passion. The topic is passion and excitement and flow. This week my homework from a class is all about passion and getting into the passion, and it's been a wild week. It's really been a very creative, flowing, passion-filled week. And I am inviting you into your passion to see what happens when you start stepping into your passion. And what if you don't know what your passions are, what your passion is? Then think about a time, a connection, a situation that passion flows through you, that you feel so alive, that you feel excited, that you're in the flow. This is not about being in the head. This is about feeling and being in the heart. And I have to say this week that since I've been so much in the flow, what I've noticed is there are anchors that I have put down that I actually have pulled up that are blocking my flow. And that when I'm in the flow, I am getting very connected to that feeling now. I'm very aware of it. And now I know even more when I go outside of it. So sometimes there are people in our lives who contract the flow when we go near them, with them, talk to them. Pay attention. Don't give your power away. We often will, with people who we are close to and who we respect or who are in our inner circle, say things, we take them to heart. And think about that. You take them to heart, it doesn't agree with you, and it constricts your heart. It constricts your flow. Passion is all about staying true to your real self, to your essence, flowing, creating, giving back to the world that in the way that feels good to you, to help others and help yourself. So pay attention to you, your flow, your passion, and how that changes based on who you're interacting with. And the ideal thing would be to always be flowing no matter what comes into play, who you come in contact with, to still stay connected to your truest essence. So play with that, enjoy that, and have a passionate day. Namaste. Good morning, day 68 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here in the attic. Today's topic is the body as a barometer. So most of us don't actually spend a lot of time in our bodies. We're floating around, we're in our heads, but when we're in our heads, we actually are very high. And so what I'm gonna ask you or invite you to do is to pay attention to how your body responds to people, to situations, to conversations, even to thoughts within your own being. And pay attention to your breathing. Or sometimes we feel it in different places. When things don't align with us, when we're not doing them for the right reasons, our body speaks. And so what does that mean? How does that happen? That means kind of you're in the flow and things are going great and you're moving along, and then all of a sudden someone says, "What are you thinking about? Why are you doing that?" And you tighten, or maybe you clench, or maybe during the day you have a headache or a backache. This is your body speaking to you. This is a whole nother language to key into you and ask yourself what's going on here. We're constantly shifting, changing. Chakras are opening, closing. Energy parts of our beings are affected by everything outside of us and everything within us. To live in the most balanced, harmony, love-based space, we need to continually check in with our bodies. Where do you feel that pain? Where do you feel the constriction? And when those things happen, what can you do? You pause. You check in. First thing you do is check on your breathing. Most of us hold our breath, right? So it's opening the central energy channel more so that more energy, more prana, more chi can flow through you with greater ease. This is how you come back into your body. You ground. This is a holiday weekend. If you can get outside, go barefoot on the grass, go to a beach, go to a lake, anywhere you can to have your feet on the ground and really pay attention to what does that feel like and connect into the earth. Pull that energy up you. Feel your body. Get exercise. Literally get into your body. Any questions? This can be an unusual concept for people. Comment. I will answer. Text me. Get in touch. Have a great day. Be safe. There's a lot of people getting together. Be safe this weekend. Stay in your body. Namaste. Good morning. Day 69 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here at the beach house. The topic today is freedom and bravery. In the U.S., it is the 4th of July, our Independence Day. So I'd like to first start by thanking all those who have served over the years so that we can be here today. Thank you to all those who served and to all the families, because everyone plays a huge part in that. And so coming to the land of the free, right now in America, we're definitely in a massive transformation. Things are changing on all levels. Systems that have been here for centuries don't work. They need an update. They need a reboot. It's time for a new way to do things. That's very clear as we look around. And so bravery comes into play with moving all of that. And each one of us are being called to be brave. To be brave to look within ourselves, to see the shifts that we need to make, to educate ourselves, because we're not even aware of some of the morals and ethics that we have that actually need to be pulled apart and seen with new eyes. So I ask you, I invite you to be brave within yourself, which also is brave for all, to move forward in the shifts that we're embarking on. As we move forward, freedom for all, for everyone, is important. Right now, specifically, we've been focusing on Black Lives Matter. That's the core. That's breaking open everything else to shift. So we thank that. We thank everyone moving forward to help us become more educated and become equal so that everybody has the same rights. Everybody can stand from the same place and get the same things available to them. This is a huge day that we typically celebrate with family and friends and neighbors and fireworks. None of that is happening. Things are pared down and very different this year. So as you move forward in the celebration, because the celebration will still take place, please do so with safety. Celebrate, enjoy, and think about how a new freedom with our bravery will be happening now. Happy 4th. Have a great day. Namaste. Good morning. Day 70 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here at the beach house. The topic is what matters. On this 4th of July weekend, I think probably most of us have done some things that we haven't done much lately, like get together with other people, see fireworks, do something with a larger group than we typically have. As we are somewhat coming out of lockdown and quarantine, though that may be iffy, something to think about are what are the things that through this quarantine lockdown period that you've learned are you going to take forward with you? So maybe you realize that you don't need to do this anymore, or that you don't enjoy spending time with this person anymore because you've had a break and it's kind of allowed you to be more centered and balanced in your own natural being. Or maybe it's that you don't like these habits that you've had and you've had the opportunity to kind of pause and pull back, and this is a great time to let go of those things. And what is it that from this time you've learned that you want to bring forward? Like maybe because we have been all forced to slow down and be inside, maybe we like the slower pace, or we like the pausing or the awareness that we brought in during this time. Take a little bit of time and think about how your life has been different. Everybody's life has been affected from COVID. There's no one around who's conscious who hasn't. So this is a great opportunity for you to take that and move it forward. I'm not sure that we're through with lockdown or quarantine actually, but knowing all that we've gone through this round, what can you bring with you through this time and move it forward? People are walking on the walk here. Okay. Maybe you only do your trolling tidbits inside and you don't go outside in the future. I don't know. But I invite you to just think about that as we move out of this weekend and into another time of freedom a little bit before we go back into lockdown. What is it that you've learned and you want to take with you? So I hope you have a great day. Namaste.